Hi, I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one is called. This one is called "Date from." Yes, yes, it was too. Yes, yeah. Look, I had a friend named Trish. Trish, okay. Trish was she was just a friend of mine, a platonic relationship, platonic. And we would laugh and joke and everything like that. Every time she was around, we would trip and everything. So one day, all of us were walking. We were going to the store or something, and then we was coming back from the store, and then she said, "I have a cousin that, you know, maybe you should talk to her." So I'd never done this before because I was young then. I was like 14, 15 years old. you know, she said, I got my cousin. She wanted to meet somebody. So I was I was thinking. I said, why not? Why not? What she look like? What she look like? So she said, oh, she's a nice got a nice personality and stuff like that, which was a red flag. Like normally I would when people would say something like that about somebody, they're not a good looker, okay? They're not a good looker, okay? So, look, but at that time, I wasn't even on that. That was not even in my radar. So I said, yeah, well, yeah. She said, she's a nice girl. She's nice and friendly and everything but telling me how she looks, okay? She friendly and she got a good sense of humor and she's fun to be around and she have a nice personality and stuff like that. So she bigged her up. So it was like a couple of weeks before she was coming to Chicago because I was in Chicago at the time, and Trish's cousin was from Mississippi. Okay, so I said, man, you ain't gonna bring no country bumpkin out there. No, she not country. She not country. She's real good to be with. She's a likable person and all of this and stuff. So I waited. I waited. A couple of weeks went past, flew past kind of quick. Then all of a sudden, it was like late in the evening. It was actually getting dark outside. So all of us were standing outside. So all of a sudden, because we were going to go to some festival in the park. I forget what festival this was. It wasn't a Taste of Chicago, but it was some other festival, a jazz festival they had. We were just going to go by and check it out. So we was waiting, and then here she comes. This was a Amazon. Yeah, this was an Amazon. She was an Amazon, man. She was she was like 6 feet tall. Now keep in mind, I was kind of short then. I was like 5'9". She had a couple of feet over me. She was an Amazon. Yes. And she wasn't a little girl either. She wasn't little. She wasn't little. We were the same age, but she was completely towering over me, you know. And I felt extremely uncomfortable. So I started looking at Trish like, And Trish was like, "Hey girl, hey girl." She said, "Hey, what's up? What's up?" And they hugged each other. She said, "I'd like you to meet June. June, this is Linda." So I said, "How you doing?" Shook her hand. And then she said, "We finna go to the park. Yeah, they got a jazz festival over there, you know." So all of us was walking, and I was walking really fast, trying to stay so nobody can see me next to this Amazon, Alice the Goon. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But, I said, man, she should have told me. So I was trying to tell Trish, why didn't you tell me she was this tall? And she wasn't a good looker either. She wasn't a good looker. So, if she would look real good, then maybe something, but she wasn't a good looker. And she was tall. And she wore size 12. Okay? So we got to the park and they was playing jazz and stuff, playing the music and stuff. And the girls were that I hung out with, they were dancing and everything. And back then I was a dancing fool, but all of a sudden was standing there and she was like, yeah, This dance, you want to dance? I said, no, no, no. I can't dance. I can't dance. Well, I heard you can dance. And so I said, no, no. I just don't feel like dancing. Actually, I'm a little sick. I'm sick to my stomach right now. So I don't want to dance. He said, oh, okay, okay. So after that, we ate and everything. And she was trying to sit next to me all the time. So then finally we left. So we was walking home and she said, hey, give me your number. And I felt like, I said, mm, I, well, my mama don't like me giving out my phone number like that. She said, oh, well, I'm going to give you mine then. She wrote it down for me and then put a heart on there. So after that, man, I told Trish, I said, look, tell your cousin I'm not interested because I wasn't man enough to do it myself. Okay, I wasn't man enough to do it myself. I don't know. I got a complex about hurting people's feelings. So I didn't want to do it. She said, "No, you tell her. You tell her." I said, "Why don't you tell her?" I said, "Come on, don't do this now." But she never told her. So then after that, I thought it was all over with. How come the next month she was back again and she was looking for me? Where June at? Where June at? She was trying to find me, and I wouldn't come out. I wouldn't come out the house. People would come by my house. Is June there? I tell my sister and them, no, no, tell him I'm not there. I'm not here. I'm not here. And they said, no, he's not here. They said, oh, okay. Well, tell him Trish came by. Man, it took me a long, long time to get rid of her. Since then, I didn't go on any blind dates, or stuff like that. Because this wasn't good. I'm talking I had to hide for half a year. Like 6 months, you know. Cause she kept coming around looking for me and I never called that number that she gave me. So that was a lost cause. Yeah, so I'm telling you, man, that just goes to show you, man. Just goes to show you. Don't ever rely on a friend to tell you how someone looks, okay? Especially if they trying to pass her off to you, trying to make you go with this girl or something like that. Because never do that. Never go on a blind date. At least get some idea what they look like or something like that. Because this was totally, I was totally out of place with this one. She was tall, too tall. Oh, and I asked her, I said, do you play ball or something? She said, no, what? Man, why do everybody ask me, do I play ball? Do I play basketball? I'm like, duh. Look at your height. Look how tall you are. But, mm, mm, mm. Then them big feet she had. Mm. Well, I'm glad I got rid of her. I don't know. I don't know if she found somebody. No, she. I think she did find somebody. She found somebody because she got pregnant. Then he left. You know. So I don't know. I don't know. I just know she was away from me. Okay. All right, you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share it with your friends. Share it with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Adios. Salamat.
Salamit. I don't like that one. Okay?